Okay, so I should have turned my phone off, sorry. Okay, so we're recording again. Let's jump into the PowerPoint. Let's keep going, looking at uh, how nerves are organized, and note that nerve signals, action potentials, electrical signals in nerves always travel for the nerve. The impulse is always going to travel away from the cell body toward the axon terminals or the synaptic terminals. And the dendrites are present to receive information from other cells, other nerve cells, from receptors. So uh, a lot of the receptors for heat and pain and so on, and pressure and various different types of pressure, those receptors are going to send information along sensory neurons to the central nervous system. Interneurons will process the input and stimulate appropriate motor neurons to, for instance, cause your skeletal muscle to contract. So there's three classes of neurons: unipolar, bipolar, and multipolar. So let's look at those structures of each of that type of neuron. So a multipolar neuron we just talked about. It's the most common. It's involved in motor neuron function for stimulating muscle, stimulating digestion, respiration, bladder control, heart, and so on. These are the most numerous multipolar neurons. Unipolar neurons are sensory neurons. They receive information from your skin, from your bladder, from your digestive system, all the places that receive information from your environment, and that information is sent along the afferent system. The bipolar neuron is least numerous, but bipolar neurons are found in the eye, for instance. What are the types of neuroglial cells? Neuroglial means nerve glue. All of these cells are very important in uh, building the blood-brain barrier, uh, insulating uh, nerves in the brain with fat. That's called myelination. Microglial cells will clean up dead tissue and other detritus and waste. It will also attack bacteria to stop an infection. And ependymal cells line the spinal cord cavities and they make cerebral spinal fluid. So if you look at a picture of all of these various neuroglial cells, you can see oligodendrocytes or have extensions and that they wrap around nerves to insulate the nerves to allow for faster conduction. Then we have astrocytes, which are involved in maintaining the blood-brain barrier. We have a microglial cell, which is going to patrol the nervous environment and pick up uh, dead cells and clean that up and attack bacteria. Then we have ependymal cells that line the uh, lining of the brain, of the cavities in the brain. So that is going to produce cerebral spinal fluid and will nourish and regulate the activity in nerves. And that system is going to be very, very important. Most of the study on the nervous system has been done on the nerve cells. There's a lot more work to be done on microglial cells, oligodendrocytes, dependable cells, and microglial cell. So you can see that there was a big discussion of how information is picked up, processed, and action is taken. In the peripheral nervous system, everything outside of the central nervous system, satellite cells surround cell bodies, help maintain the health of the nerves, and the Schwann cells form myelination, meaning fatty insulation around nerves so that conduction speeds can be increased. We'll get to more of that in a moment. Okay, so here are these Schwann cells. The Schwann cells grow a fatty covering. The purpose of that covering is to increase the speed of conduction of the action potential as it gets into the axon, and the insulation helps the myelinated axons conduct very rapid nerve impulses. Okay, read that when you get a chance, and let's go ahead and stop the recording for a moment.